Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Leo August 24, 2022. There can be a stronger focus on emotional or material support in your life, power dynamics in close relationships, and personal development within. You crave deeper connections to people or projects in the weeks ahead. You have the chance to make lasting improvements to your life by going deep. It can be an excellent time for exploring a particular topic of interest in more depth. Your private world assumes more importance, and you notice the hidden elements of circumstances and people around you. Today, however, you might come to a satisfying agreement on broader issues with a significant someone. If your lover and/or romantic interest has been hogging the spotlight of your life as of late, things are about to change for the better. This is especially true when considering the Sun's shift into centrally driven Cancer and your intimate 8th house of mergers, shared resources, and collaborations today. Have you been depending on the opinions of others when it comes to a particular decision? The Moon's shift into Cancer and your communication sector will enrich your mind with new perspectives, some of which may require you to put in work. But if the love is worth the squeeze, then you know what to do. How can you stabilize your financial transformation? Today, the Sun leaves your opposite sign and enters Cancer, beginning a fiscally focused astrological season. Cancer season is the time to ambitiously work on your investments, loans, funds, and assets. You may feel more stable by paying off debt and adjusting the loans that you have. Now could be the time for you to solidify your retirement plan, like committing to a fund. Sales, mergers, and other lucrative opportunities could arise through work. Regardless of what happens, take a slow and steady pace when considering your options. A lot of activity could be taking place in your neighborhood today. If you live in a major city, perhaps a movie or a news event is being filmed nearby, and the crowds are gathering. Don't be too shy to go out and see what's going on. If you don't live in a major city, this could be something as innocuous as new power lines being installed. Either way, expect a lot of excitement. Enjoy your day. Your open manner is reflected in your private life, taking pleasure in talking to new friends and exchanging points of view. Your friendly attitude could turn spontaneous chats into long-term friendships. Your family is very satisfied with these changes and enjoys your positive charisma. No matter how clearly you articulate what you're looking for, no one seems to understand. Why don't your friends see what you see? And why is it taking so long for someone who meets your standards to come by? Connecting with those people you admire most, you cannot help but make it obvious you fancy them. Your honesty and charm provide you with a pleasant naturalness that helps you succeed, and you flirt in this way. Your tenderness and sensitivity lets you get away with this direct approach and make headway. Don't take no for an answer today. Know what you believe in and stick with it. There is a distinct advantage in holding true to your inner nature. Don't let others throw you off course with their views of how things should be done. Be confident and don't worry about taking things over the top. There is no such thing as excess on a day like today. The more the merrier should be your motto. Use the energy of this day to look for unconventional ways of handling things. This can open up whole new possibilities for you. This vibration enhances your ingenuity and, given enough time to approach things in a creative way, you may even surprise yourself. You are one of the most inventive personalities there is, anyhow. Allow the effects of the energy to see you make even greater strides. Be sure to brainstorm with others if you hit a block. Just days before Venus and Jupiter are due to return to your relationship sector, the Moon not only wraps up its monthly visit but will spend its final hours here aligned with the dwarf planet Eris, the warrior princess of the cosmos. After banking the reality checks from the Sun's recent visit and with a new starting point, the Moon can fuel your emotional and passionate responses in a way that brings a reminder of what you are fighting for when it comes to what you want from your relationships and what they need from you. Just 3 days before Venus, the planet of love, is due to return to your relationship sector, the Moon wraps up its monthly visit, leaving you more emotionally engaged than just a few days ago. This is something you need to hold on to ahead of Venus' return, just as the stars align to bring the spirit of romance and adventure together. Our eyes in the sky. The Cancer moon shares some frustrations in the sky while forming a square with Jupiter today. When it comes to matters of the heart, this energy could throw you for a serious loop. Try to maintain your patience, understanding, and diplomacy should any conflict arise in your love life. Emotions are likely to run high, and Cancer lunar energy is extremely emotional, so things could get ugly quickly. The energy here could amplify issues that might not ordinarily be such a big deal, so try to be mindful of that and keep things in perspective. Unfortunately, the atmosphere doesn't lighten up much as the evening progresses. The moon continues to encounter frustration as it forms a square to Chiron. With all of this going on in the cosmos, you'll want to be on the lookout for manipulative behavior. People might begin to obsess over the ways in which they feel they've been wronged, and you definitely don't want to be in the crossfire when they lash out. If the tension becomes too difficult to manage, you might want to postpone any personal interactions until things cool down. On the plus side, Chiron sends some helpful energy to the moon, so if you're able to keep calm and talk through your issues, you're likely to evolve and strengthen your relationships tonight. Don't let fear stand in the way of letting your sentiments be known. Understanding boundaries with friends is going to be super hard during this new moon, mostly because you're the one who's unable to adhere to the structure and limits in your relationships. The advice is to resist the urge to text too much. Be cognizant of the volume of communication you send over. While we can trust our head to steer us in the correct direction, we should aim to be heart-centered in our approach. The next 2 days are an excellent time for starting things, but not for seeing them through if they require extensive planning or patience. In the morning, the Cancer moon squares Jupiter in Aries, augmenting optimism. Emotional comfort may be sought through the discovery of new spiritual insights or education. Although we derive pleasure in the familiar, under this influence, we are curious about how different cultures live. However, this transit can also facilitate blind spots that leave us vulnerable to taking too much on faith. We can also find ourselves spiritually bypassing dilemmas that require a rational solution. Aim to stay high-minded without being avoidant of life's complex realities. Before noon, the Leo Sun and Vesta, the goddess asteroid of divine inspiration, oppose each other in the sky. We now find ourselves asking, is my passion somehow at odds with the image I'm presenting to the world? Vesta in Aquarius suggests that we be inclusive of the diverse needs of those within our communities. We may be wondering how we can define our personal identity through humanitarian or innovative group efforts. Even though these ideas seem opposed, they are not intrinsically at odds. We must know ourselves, and know ourselves well, before we can stand as an example of an idea for others. The point is not to claim leadership and authority by force, but to be a pillar that inspires those around us to act. This transit SUG celebrated rather than scrutinized, because they have made us the person we are today.